I will once more return to the hollow ground of Yad Vashem to honor 6 million Jewish lives that were stolen in the genocide and continue, which we must do every day, continue to bear witness. To keep alive the truth and honor of the Holocaust, horror of the Holocaust.
Got to honor the Holocaust. If he had been spending more time honoring it, then we probably wouldn't have a white supremacist with a Nazi flag driving through the White House gate. Except that he hit it doing like 10 miles an hour and didn't do any damage. And
is that why that meme was going around of someone hitting like there was like the video of like a car running into like a God, what was it? It was like running into some metal object or whatever, just like it was like some kind of crane, but they were like, oh, if it hit it with going 15 miles an hour, then you would still have damage on the thing or whatever.
And like there's no damage to anything.
Yeah.
And of course I thought this was like hilarious how
like people doing the simulation, they were like, this would have damage on it if you hit it even going 15 miles an hour or whatever.
They laid the flag out on the ground to make sure that everybody can see that it's a Nazi flag.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in the back of the U-Haul, like nothing at all, which is incredibly crazy. Like if you're going to actually battering ram something with a U-Haul, if you're not going for like, jihadi style suicide bombing, which is kind of what I would expect from the guy who was doing it, for it to be a little bit more jihadi-ish, just not to be stereotypical, but that's what I would have thought was coming here.
That's not Mexican?
I don't know. They all look alike.
Where's Carlos? He could tell us.
Where's Carlos when we need us? When we need him? Brown people all look the same. It's like all white people look alike, all black people look alike, all Asians look alike. Like everybody of a particular ethnicity looks alike. Like especially gingers. Every ginger looks the same. It's just different length of hair and different amount of freckles. Like, but otherwise they all look the same.
Freckle density index. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's got to be a thing.
You get like this level, or you get the ones that just have like the speckled dots, like just one or two. It's a spectrum. Like all gingers are on the spectrum.
But you would think if you're gonna use a U-Haul to ram a gate, if you're not like loading it up with explosive material, you should at least like put something to give you some weight in there, because the U-Haul isn't super heavy on its own. Like it's a lot of.
You'd have bricks, and like that would give it a little bit of weight,
Right,
bricks.
and if he really wanted to sell it, I'm sure there's a Soros-backed company somewhere that has pallets of bricks that they can load on there for you to really make this seem realistic.
Yeah, he was just gonna throw those bricks through the windows. No, there was somebody made a good joke because this guy, does look kind of Hispanic in nature. They were like, well, now what they're doing is they're passing out like they're telling them. Oh, there was a great one that it was like a joke. It was like, hey, I know you're like illegal, but we have a mission for you, like operation for you. It's like, oh, like.
Or your citizenship.
Yeah, like they just like here's your citizenship. If you do this, you get your citizenship. Like this is a CIA op. Like,
oh, here's the video. Here's the video of the guy actually hitting the fence or hitting the gate. Like,
wait, they actually have it.
Look, the truck's just sitting there perfectly still, and then all of a sudden, boom. Like. This is just some dumbass that made a wrong turn and thought he put it in reverse and didn't, and then slammed the gate. Like the Nazi flag was completely coincidental. It had nothing to do with anything. The Nazi
Capitol
flag
Police
was
would keep one in their back pocket.
That's just
so they can. It's like a gun that they throw on people to frame them. Like, oh shit, we got a gun. They throw a fake gun. They just always keep a Nazi flag in their back pocket. So whenever there's any sort of incident, they can throw the Nazi flag down and be like, look, white supremacist attack. Yep.
Like when they put out weed, whatever. It's like, yeah, we got him. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got.
Exactly. I see things like this, and it's like, okay, there's like the the OKC incident, like that's like a real event, right? So it's like I look at stuff like this, and it's like let's say that this was real. This was a dude, and he was trying to ram the thing, and he was a Nazi flag carrying white supremacist.
He wasn't Indian. He's actually white.
Like he's obviously a mentally insane retard. You know what I mean? An inept, crazy person. So it's like there's not a real white supremacist threat here.
I think there's more of a connection between like radical Islam and white supremacy with that guy. Like he's closer to Allah Akbar than like Heil Hitler, right? I mean, like if we're
That's what I said.
Okay, sorry I was late.
No, I mean that's what I was like. If you're ramming the gates of the White House and you look like this guy, wouldn't it make more sense that you pack the U-Haul full of explosives and went full on like.
This is exactly what Hollywood could write nowadays. Like that's all Hollywood can write. They have their
why the writers are striking. Yeah,
they're like, we suck this bad. Like, we got to strike.
If Hollywood did this though, he would have been transgender and
Maybe that's why
you look kind of non-binary.
That's why there's the writer's strike on, because the FBI was getting too pissed off with the writers who were making every single school shooter be trans. They're like, quit making them all trans. We don't need that. You're taking this in the wrong direction. They're like, we're going to stop hiring you to write this stuff. And the writers were like, well, fuck you then. We're on strike. If you're not going to let us write these the way we want to anymore, then we're out. This is how it was a really serious situation. One of the responders on site is taking a selfie with the Nazi flag in the background on the.
What else did he have in the U-Haul?
That was it.
Wasn't he had like a vest?
So he rented the
right?
whole U-Haul to carry like a vest and a flag.
Yeah,
yes,
that's pretty much it.
They are the easiest trucks to rent.
I guess, but that's pretty big. Like I think you would go with a smaller size that you could actually like drive and handle. Like if you're gonna go into Washington, like you're not gonna do it with a truck that big, especially if you've never done it before. And obviously, you've never done it before. You could have been an Asian woman.
Hey man, it's a learning curve. We all gotta.
Yeah.
You go with the empty truck as like the practice run first.
See, the next time they're gonna do the actual violent event, like the next one's just gonna be like, okay, this one was kind of like the test run, and then they're
Can you still run a U-Haul in manual, or are they all automatic transmissions now?
They have to be automatic.
I wouldn't think. I mean, you can't even buy a standard anymore without special order. I can't imagine that you'd find a.
Wait, you can't?
I don't see trucks like that aren't U-Hauls that are manuals anymore. Like I
don't see
it's rare to find a semi that's a manual these days. Semi trucks, they're all automatics. Yeah.
What about even just a regular truck? I feel like you can't even find them anymore.
Rent one from Home Depot. That's probably the easiest way to rent a truck.
You can find them, but you have to be looking for them. They still make them, but you have to ask basically. Like, hey, do you have anything in a manual? And they're like, yeah, we keep it, hidden away in this shed back on the back side of the property. You want to come look at it? It's a little bit sketchy, but you can get one.
Yeah.
We keep their manuals in the filing cabinet. Which one would you like to see? Kids they're not even going to know what a manual is anymore, man.
No, see, I don't envision the car salesman being being like a gay guy. I envision the car salesman being a dude, bro. So he'd probably be the one like, yeah, bro, we got the manuals back. Bro.
They always try to talk me out of the manual. Why do you want a manual? Because I like to drive.
So that nobody else will mess with my vehicle. That did work against me one time. Like I had a collapse lung, and had to be taken to the hospital, and nobody there knew how to drive my truck because I had a manual. It's like, well, we're borrowing somebody else's vehicle then. Like, we'll just come back and pick my truck up later. I have been told that the used car salesman would probably look like this, but I don't know. I've not met one who looks like that before.
all of them that I've met have looked at.
Oh, boy.
Howdy there, sir.
Howdy, sir.
Put you in this car.
Boy, howdy. Just go ahead and hop in it. Hop up in there. Give her a test run.
There was a. I'll find you the perfect truck to ram into a government building.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened. That's what happened. He probably went to the U-Haul to just rent a U-Haul and got convinced into, like, you know, being an alt-right white terrorist by the white trash guy renting him the truck. Sorry, what were you saying, Doug?
All good.
FBI is so hard up on
they're
dipping in the ISIS sources.
I'm gonna play a video. It's I put it in the private chat too, though. Just my internet's being slow, so in case it doesn't come through or something, when you guys can take over. But this was another ramming incident that happened last week. I don't know if you guys saw this. It happened in Arizona. There was a wrong way driver on the interstate, and according to the cops, the only way to stop this person was to ram them. Now everyone's okay in the video. Nobody like died or anything. But here comes up. So,
it's like that time they the pregnant lady, you know, they did that
81-year-old woman.
Yeah.
I feel like she was confused. Like as I said, she was like old and confused. I feel like they could have just stopped their cruiser in front of her and she would have just stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like ramming her was unnecessary.
Probably. Yeah, but I mean, how often do you get to ram somebody? This is a perfect excuse, you know. I mean,
that's true. They take the wrong way driver shit seriously.
Well, and it doesn't look like it was a high-speed ramming. It just like slow rolled in.
Which is exactly why you probably could have, like, you know, parked sideways and she would have stopped. She's probably trying to stop right now.
I feel like she was slowing down. It was hard enough to set off the airbag.
Adam, you rammed
it. I'm sure it's unpleasant, and for an 81-year-old woman, obviously they've been, you know, bad. I mean, hey, man, I'm not trying to tell them how to do their jobs or anything. I just feel like you could have just stopped the car. She would have just stopped. That's all.
I mean, don't they have spike strips anyway too and stuff? So, like, you can throw a spike strip in front of them or something.
Well, I mean, you've got oncoming traffic as well. Like, they're trying to. So what are you going to do? Throw out spike strips and then like cripple every car on the road going either.
I mean, if it's on the highway and you're going, like, you can stop traffic. I mean, they stop traffic all the time for accidents.
Yeah.
You know, like, you could clear off, like, okay, she just passed exit 87, stop at exit 86 and don't let anybody else on, like, shut everything down. You got 10 miles to stop her. I'm just saying, man, don't hurt my grandma. I'll come after you.
How fast was she driving? I mean, my grandma does like 70 everywhere, so.
She looked like she was doing like 30. She wasn't going that fast.
We want to talk about used car salesmen.
Oh,
God, here I got one.
We're going to talk about Nina Turner?
This is for us, Steven.
Should I shoot him gangland style or execution style?
Listen to your heart. Well, I can't give you the car, Krusty, but I can let you have this little number for practically nothing. Only 38,000.
Hey, what are all these holes?
These are speed holes to make the car go faster.
Oh, yes, speed holes.
You want my advice? I think you should buy this car.
That's a good used car salesman right there.
Speed holes.
Slow elderly ramming. That's the polite way to do it.
Have we talked about that? The rampant STDs running through nursing homes because of all the slow elderly ramming that's been going on. Like, these old people just be plowing each other left and right.
Especially down in Florida, the villages, right?
Yeah, so now there's like just STDs run rampant through these nursing homes. It's Like,
I've been told
Well,
there's a code,
wasn't there
a color
employees?
code
Condom
on the golf
dispensers in the
carts.
cafeteria.
Don't some of the employees haven't they been caught messing around with some of those old people too? Like,
Well, how can you resist?
I'm sure Mark
Running around
having that
with
on his
skimpy
record
little
it didn't
shawls.
help him. You know? And they took him to
old people.
court there, and they're pressing charges of that. Pulled all his background up, and I saw that.
Old Mimo flopped him out, and then he just couldn't resist.
Would that be something that you could get charged for? Like if
Sir, why are you buying 5 gallons of Vaseline?
If you worked at a nursing home and some old woman was like, I need you to do me. And you're like, well, has been a dry spell. Okay. Like, I mean, these are consenting adults at this point. It's, you know.
Barring dementia or something,
Right,
I don't think it should be illegal, but probably unprofessional. Probably fireable, but not illegal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Hopefully, they just move you to another nursing home, though, and then you know they pull the Catholic.
I just, yeah, it would probably be against like code of conduct within your organization, I would think. Although they even have to put that in their like bylaws would be like, you know, that's disturbing in and of itself. That this has become an issue.
Don't do the old
we need to
ladies.
address.
Oh man!
Put it in there. No matter how attractive her blue hair might be, do not be seduced by the old women.
I do think they should definitely prostitution law loopholes for like elderly places. Like, you know how they bring like the people to read to the old ladies or the old people, and they bring through like the puppies for everybody to pet. They should bring through some fucking like gigolos from time to time and let the old ladies, you know, have some fun with it.
They probably do. They probably like. There's probably certain ones where you got to know the certain code and password and like, you know, yeah.
Gigolo story.
That, you know, that's a good. That's a great idea. You make bank off that, I bet.
I always wanted to open a bikini car wash in the villages. I thought that'd do well.
Look,
that would.
Just imagine like a Chippendales like story hour for these old ladies.
Get out there with the old men, wash windows with your balls, you know. Here we go.
Yeah, you gotta have 2 lanes at the bikini car wash. You gotta have the males and the females, you know.
In and out.
You know, they outlive the males. There's got to be more horny old ladies than horny old men out there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what that low T does. Maybe they just like, you know.
Say at some point it stops working. So those dudes
not anymore. You got like all those little blue pills. Get you some Blue Chew, 15% off at BlueChew.com.
Well, if you got dentures,
the morning after next time you.
That's the new Polydent commercial. Is they're like it holds so good I can chew 3 Blue Chew at a time.
Tastes like semen.
Oh god.
I don't know why I've been getting ads for that, even though like I look up nothing.
Blue Chew, they're worried about your
it's probably your wife.
Just your age. Yeah.
It's
the stuff your wife wrote up.
Do you complain in other group chats about not getting it frequently enough? You haven't said anything in our group chat, Trey's wife. He hasn't complained to us. So it's not, we don't know anything about it if it's happening. Just saying, if you're watching. But have you been complaining in other group chats and like the algorithm is picking up on that? Because you know they've been spying.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
I got to turn my VPN back on.
You think that would work though? Like if your wife hasn't been letting you get any, and then you just come in with like a raging hard on from a Blue Chew, and it's like, I got this for 4 hours. Let's get to work. And she's just gonna look at you like, you better put an ice pack on that and get your ass back out in the yard.
Go call a doctor right now.
I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, good for you.
That's your problem.
Like, let's.
Is my internet?
Look.
Do I keep cutting out?
No more so than usual.
All right. I keep my screen keeps like freezing and twirling and doing weird
I think your
things.
audio is doing okay.
Okay.
I keep getting a little signal that my internet sucks, so I'm afraid that I'm sucking.
I'm running.
I don't know.
I'm running our regular crappy internet with the backup booster thing, so it keeps me in decent shape, like 96% of the time.
On Skanks, I'm gonna steal a story from someone else here just because it's entertaining. But on Skanks, Lewis tells a story. I don't know, he was at his ex-wife's house or something. She has a new like black boyfriend, or the stepdad is this black dude, and I guess he was typing something into the computer and it autofilled like how to stop gushing and squirting during sex. He's like, oh man, that hurts. Fucking ex-wife's gotta Google that, He's like, yeah, no, never happened with me. But that big black dick was doing it.
Let's see, what else we want to talk about today? Oh,
did you guys see the travel advisory against Florida?
Yeah, the NAACP.
Oh no, that's cool.
NAACP issued a travel advisory against Florida that it's a hostile environment for LGBTQ plus and African American, other people of color, openly hostile. Of course, the I don't know, the chairman. Yeah, the chairman is living in the Tampa Bay area. So
today, the NAACP
so
Board of Directors issued a formal travel advisory for the state of Florida. The travel advisory comes in the direct response to Governor Ron DeSantis' aggressive attempts to erase Black history and restrict diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in Florida schools. The formal travel notice states Florida is openly hostile towards African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ plus individuals. Before traveling to Florida, please understand that the state of Florida devalues and marginalizes the contributions of and the challenges faced by African Americans and other communities of color. That's why there's so many Cubans that are fleeing to Florida, because they know once they get there, they don't have to worry about the blacks.
So,
well, that's probably
that
that's probably why they're saying that black people should be afraid if Ron DeSantis announces his presidential bid on Twitter.
Did you see? Like as soon as it was getting rumored that Ron DeSantis was going to announce his presidential bid, then all of a sudden, like there's a dozen articles that come out of why Ron DeSantis is more dangerous than Donald Trump. Like, are y'all fucking kidding me? Like this.
Apparently, he's going to be announcing today with Elon Musk in a Twitter space. It says he's apparently the GOP is unabashedly party of white supremacy and hate, and so that's why DeSantis, like they're saying, like if he announces for running for president, which I mean they were going to say that about him anyway. So what's the point of like I don't know what's the point of even writing these kind of articles?
No, it's just inevitable. It's just baked in. Me and old Wayne were listening to the public lefty radio station while we were eating lunch yesterday, and it was just hilarious. And it's funny because like a couple days before, I was telling you guys I was listening to the Fox News and the Hannity talk radio station, and they're just both so hilarious and like totally opposite ends, but they were talking about the immigration laws or whatever here. They're like, man, people just don't know, what's going to happen to the price of strawberries, and they had, callers calling in. This Mexican guy is like, well, I just don't know. It's like, am I going to go to the bathroom and the police are going to pop out? Like, what's even going to be happening?
Well, like the really crazy thing about, they're going to have this like huge worker shortage now because they can't hire illegals anymore. It's like, do you not
realize what you're saying?
That, roughly 85 to 90% of the people who are working on these farms and stuff, they are here legally. They have a work visa. Like that's what they come here for. They come into Florida for the early harvest of strawberries and oranges and do the different stuff. And then they move north and they do tobacco in the tobacco states. They do grain
Sweet
harvest
potatoes.
in the rest. They go to like Virginia and in that area and do grapes whenever it's like time for the grapes to be coming off for like the vineyards and stuff like that. And then in the winter they go back to Mexico with all the money that they've made and like help get their families established and everything. And then they come back next spring and do it all over again. Like the overwhelming majority of them are the ones who are working on these farms and stuff are here illegally because the USDA is really strict on that shit. Like they do spot inspections and check out farms to see if you're running a bunch of illegals. The overwhelming majority of them are here on work visas. They're not, like it's crazy that that's what the left thinks. I mean, I know that's also what the right thinks, but the left thinks that if they stop allowing illegals, that just means the entire agricultural industry is going to shut down. When they have like the agricultural industry operates pretty above board for the most part, anyway.
Everything you said is sorry. Go ahead, Trey.
No, go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, I agree with everything Justin just said. But the reason I think it's so funny when they say that is because it's just such a bad argument because they're, and whether or not they should be illegal or not, right? Different story. Let's just say like they're illegal, like it's breaking a law. So the argument isn't just allow them to break the law. The argument should be, hey, how can we change this law to make it easier? Or how can we get more work visas or something like that? Because you can't argue because if you're from a politician kind of stance, you can't argue for breaking a law, right? You have to but you should argue for an actual solution to hey, here's a way we can make it not illegal and, make this work for everybody. So I just hate the argument of well, what are we going to do if we crack down on this illegal thing? If it shouldn't be illegal, then make it not illegal or state your case for why it shouldn't be,
I will say I did know someone who had a farm and he did talk about, I don't know if he actually got visas. I know that he would go to the border and he would actually pick up some workers. I'll put it that way. I don't know if they were legal or illegal though. I don't know if he decided to go through the process of getting.
Just go to Home Depot.
Well, they have to have papers there too. Like I worked at
no, the ones that stand out in the front. You've never driven by Home Depot and there's like a handful of Mexicans out front.
We don't have a lot.
I rode by SA in Miami.
They all work at the TJ Maxx distribution center, which was really funny. We had one that was working there, and I got a call from HR that I needed to send this employee up to HR. I was like, oh, okay, I don't understand why. They never miss work. They're one of the best, we're one of the best workers we've got. It's I'm not sure why I'm having to send this person to HR. And so I told the union steward, I was like, hey, so and so's got to go to HR, and you might have to go with them. And my union steward goes, oh, they probably figured out the paperwork was fake. He's like, don't worry, she'll be back in 3 months. I was like, wait, what? He's like, oh yeah, this is her third or fourth time working here under a different name. It'll be fine. They don't care. They let them work here knowing that the paperwork is fake. They let them work here until it finally gets caught, and then they term them, and then they go get new paperwork, and then they come back and they do it all over again. Okay, whatever. As long as I'm not having to lose one of my best employees for an extended period of time, I don't give a shit. But that's the way. Like Steven was saying over here, the ones that people have a problem with are the ones that aren't coming to work, that are coming to stay in these sanctuary cities to live off the government dime, to all of that stuff. Nobody gives a shit about the ones who are coming here with
to work
with actual work visas or getting their paperwork together so that they can get a job and do everything. Nobody gives a shit about that. And that's the thing that gets conflated in the whole thing is nobody cares about the ones who are actually coming here to get a job. It's the ones that are coming here to stay in a hotel in a sanctuary city.
The ones that have the funny paperwork and stuff to get a job, a lot of the times they're still paying into Social Security. They're still getting taxes and crap paid out, but they're not going to see any of that. They don't see any of that crap that gets taken out of their paycheck. And
Hey,
that,
somebody's
like,
got to
is
pay
just
for
like-
our Social Security, or we'll never be able to retire.
Well, and they pay sales
need to
tax,
calm
and if
down.
you rent a place to live, you're paying property taxes, you know, vicariously. But I mean, so like, oh, they don't pay any taxes. It's like they pay a lot of times. They pay as much taxes as a regular American, considering 42% of Americans don't pay income tax, right? Paying the same taxes, you know, as fucking half Americans anyhow. So, you know, it's fuck ever. But like just I told you, if they're fucking working, nobody gives a shit, and that's, you know, I don't either. I have the same problem with illegal being on welfare, or they do with fucking lazy white people being on welfare, you know.
Even.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
The vast
especially like,
majority
you
of
know,
welfare, I think white people.
the trailer trash. I mean, like they're just like if you go to any trailer park, it's like these people are all on welfare or whatever. Like they get food stamps.
We've got a lot of rich people trailer parks down here, but there's plenty of food stampy trashy trailer park too. But we got the.
Well, what's
the old
really
people
funny is
hit
what
five
you've been
ups.
seeing over the last like 5 years or so is a lot of the ones who came here legally and got jobs and stuff. Like originally were very pro-Democrat because loose immigration is sponsored by Democrats is what allowed them to come here. But then once they get here and start paying taxes and shit, they realize and start seeing all the social programs that are being pushed by Democrats. Then like, oh no, those people are terribly wrong, or like completely wrong. Then they switch to being Republicans, and then that's when you get multicultural white supremacy, which is what was the big talking point in the 2022 midterms was multicultural white supremacy. Like, holy.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Mexican people, you know, but again, the ones we have around here, they work. So what the fuck ever, you know. I don't live in a city, so I don't have the same beefs, I guess.
Did y'all see the thing with Chicago, like on the South Side, where all of the black people were getting pissed off because they're bringing in like 500 illegals and going to be putting them up in like city housing and stuff like this, and they're like, "You don't even take care of us. Why are you going to bring them in and take care of them?" It was amazing. They're like, "Sanctuary city, my ass."
Apparently, in New York, Mayor Eric Adams is upset about the what. There was something he oh, here it is. He asked judge to suspend the right to shelter obligation, saying the city can no longer house tens of thousands of migrants.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Because I'd heard something about that. So that they have to pay. The migrants don't have to pay for the hotel rooms, like the taxpayers pay for the hotel rooms or something. There's vouchers or something like that. Okay, yeah, because I heard something about the hotels. I'm like, well, if they're just coming and they're like renting hotel rooms, I don't see that as being a problem. But
no, the city's paying.
I was
for
led
it.
by context. I was led to believe that wasn't the case, because otherwise, why would I be upset?
I remember that article.
That was a big thing that was getting talked about in California a couple months ago. Is they were giving out all these like homeless vouchers for the hotels.
They're not homeless; they're unhoused.
Whatever you want to call them.
Unhomed.
All these vouchers for people that don't have shelter otherwise to live in these hotels. And the city is paying these hotels for these vouchers, but the city's not paying the city's not actually paying the rate that these hotels would go for. So that these rooms would go for. So a lot of these hotels are now like losing money on top of the fact that because of the rate that because they don't get an option. Like they're not negotiating this. The city is basically like, this is what we're going to pay you for these rooms, and you're going to put these people in these rooms if they come to you with these vouchers. So now they're losing money on rooms that the state is making them put homeless people in, and because they've got all these homeless people in the hotels, nobody else wants to stay there. So now they're losing money on what would be the regular rate rooms, and it's wrecking the hotel industry in California.
It's just eminent. It's eminent domain of a different variety. That's all it is. That's the next step to eminent domain. We need your house, right? It's no different.
You're right. It's not even like
just essentially.
It's not even like they're just taking your land and using it for whatever. They're like forcing you to run your own business the way they want. It's like total like communists, right? It's like we just want a homeless shelter, so we're just going to turn your hotel into a homeless shelter. And yeah, you have no say in that. You run a homeless shelter now. And you lose money on it. Yeah.
When there was an article from New York, there was an article from New York where they were talking about one of these hotels that was being forced to shelter a lot of the immigrants that are coming in, and then all of the restaurants in the surrounding area are either cutting staff, cutting hours, or closing down completely because now there are so many immigrants just like hanging out around these hotels that the affluent business people who would usually frequent these restaurants won't come into the area because it's just overrun with people standing out on the streets all the time because they don't have jobs, they don't have anything to do, so they're just standing outside the hotel all the time, like taking up space, and now people who would be doing business in these bars and restaurants and stuff in and around the hotels, they won't come around. So like it's really killing the what's the name of that industry, the hotel and restaurant.
Hospitality.
I mean, it's the hospitality.
Yeah, hospitality. It's really it's really wrecking the hospitality industry, especially in these really big cities like New York, Chicago, LA. You know.
Do you remember, like, it was a little while ago, there was an article talking about, putting people up in like the hotels, and then they built basically like a project, like a housing thing down in Red Hook, down in Brooklyn, and the people wouldn't leave the hotel. Like they refused to leave the hotel, the rooms they were being put up in, to go to the new place that they had built for them because it wasn't as luxurious. Like this is like, it's everything we're seeing, right? Even with like squatters going into people's houses and just squatting, and then you can't get them out. Like there's no property rights anymore. Like they're being eroded very quickly, especially if you're a business.
I think I could get them out.
No, well, that's that girl down here in Georgia. Like she was I don't know, Army or something, but she's out of town, overseas, and damn, the guy is like just started squatting in her house, and she like couldn't. She's like, I can't get him out. Like it's like she didn't want to turn off power and water because that's like inhumane or something, or maybe it was illegal.
Fuck that, kneecap that bastard and drag him out in the backyard and be like, all right, figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, you would think, right? You would think.
Maybe I am inhumane, but I just don't give a shit. Like,
no, there's some castle doctrine in there too. I think they would back you up.
Oh yeah, no, run up at that bitch. That's your land. Yeah. You could try. They've I guess some businesses have been doing this for a while to keep loiterers and bums away. But I think they're starting to do this in like subways in major cities and stuff now. But they're playing.
You put those spikes on the handles and stuff. Now.
Well, they're playing classical music and opera and like with high volumes. Because
that's awesome.
Dumb people can't handle
Verdi's 19th century
classical.
Or maybe it's just they're hoping to make them smarter so that then they can actually do something with themselves.
Right?
Hey, look, that's in
lasting from
cultural
the
enrichment,
of a 7-Eleven
right?
convenience
about
store
cultural
along
enrichment.
California's McHenry Avenue.
That's racist.
They could be playing like Florida Georgia Line or some gay shit like that.
That would do just as good to keep. Well, no, that would actually just keep people like us away. That would probably attract homeless folks.
It attracted dum dums. That's why it has to be smart people.
You'd have Pulse opening up in your parking lot every night.
Yeah, then it's just a party. Classical music isn't a party.
Asking for handouts. To me, I like it because
all the workers like it.
12, 13 accounts, 7-Eleven, and no one has the music on.
But a solution to homelessness, it is not. We spoke to one advocate for the homeless who likened it to a game of whack-a-mole, essentially moving the homeless from one location to another.
Get them out of my store.
Pick somebody off the street, put them somewhere. And I feel for him.
But Gomes also says he feels safer.
Feel more comfortable coming on the way to work.
Reporting in Modesto, California, I'm Chris Welch.
You can call it a game of whack-a-mole to move them from one place to the other, but the guy who's trying to get them off of his property doesn't give a shit about that. He's like, mission accomplished. Now there's somebody else's problem. Like, you come up with your own solution.
Yeah, you play your own classical.
That's right.
You get your own speaker.
It's like, I'll play some Beethoven, you play some Bach. Eventually we'll hit all of it.
Wait. Yeah,
that's right.
It's great value, Ryan Reynolds. Did kind of look like that.
He really did.
Yeah, dude. I think it's a super cheap and effective solution. It's probably the least expensive thing you do.
Yeah, I mean, like what all the other solutions, you're gonna have to pay something like, okay, well, we need to like put something on the sides of the like on the parts of the sidewalk, just so that they don't sit down there and just lay
Those
on
bird
lay on our sidewalk.
spikes.
Yep.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you
You
got
know
to
the
hose the
spikes they put on
sidewalk
top
off
of the
daily.
signs and stuff, so the birds don't sit out there
Yeah.
and crap everywhere. You got to put them on the sidewalk. You just make like a 2-foot path so people can walk. You know,
Yeah, but then they're
hope
just
that
gonna
the little
sleep in
kids
the
learning to
path.
ride
Like
their
you just
bike.
got to turn the whole thing.
because
into
then you get
balance.
stepped on.
If you're designing something, at least you're not designing something as stupid as this. There is a Los Angeles bus shade.
Oh my gosh!
man.
Did you see these things?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can
Just allow the ads. You're afraid of what they're going to show.
Yeah.
More Blue Chew.
No, not Blue Chew. Oh god. Okay.
Oh shit.
There you go. So let's see. Here's the shade. This is the bus shade that they're touting is supposed to be so great.
$10,000.
Yes, 10,000. Well, no.
Probably
This-
10,000 per shade, right? Like,
Yeah, they put out $200,000 worth of those. So 20 of these little shades. It doesn't even shade anything. Why? Apparently, it was designed by women too.
It
so
breaks up the
that
sun
was-
a little bit, you know.
I mean, I could see. Okay, so if it's, let's say, like that shields you from the westerly afternoon sun or something, like,
Yeah, but then in the
okay,
morning-
Yeah, but that'll
Yeah.
shade like 2 people. Like,
but that's
Not
not
even
even cast
to-
the shadow that way.
Let's be real.
Listen-
in Los
listen
Angeles,
to the-
probably one person.
Listen
Yeah.
to the description of it. Like this is fucking ridiculous. La Sombrita, the little shade, costs $10,000 and is part of the LA Department of Transportation's Gender Equity Action Plan, which aims to make significant progress to achieving gender equity by 2025. What this thing has to do with gender equity or
Because a
Was it
woman
only for
designed it.
women?
Because a woman designed
Yeah,
it.
the
That was
commission was women and minorities who approved it.
that looked like some dumb shit a woman would
well,
design.
that's why it's retarded.
Too early. You gotta wait another 20 minutes.
See, these are the ads I get though.
Relevant. Well, yeah, it is. Even in like the graphic, it just shows it being used by one person at a time.
Right? Like
yeah,
how-
I mean, there's no way there's no way you can have multiple. Like all these people aren't going to be covered by the shade. No way.
No, the one on the left wouldn't even be covered herself.
No, you're gonna exactly.
She's wider than that fucking thing.
She is the sunshade.
Holes. Yeah, she has to stand behind her, man. You might catch an extra
Yeah,
breeze.
it's
though,
gonna
you
be
don't
like
want.
it's gonna be like a like a sundial, you know, like that
Yeah,
little strip
yeah.
of shade is gonna
It's
keep
going to rotate.
Oh God, did y'all see this? It also
like-
has a light on it. It has a light
Yeah.
on it so that you can feel safe at night. But like, look at the
The
look at the
built-in rape
light.
whistle.
Yeah, look at the light.
Yeah.
Like that's you can't even see the person
You're gonna-
standing underneath it.
have homeless people like brawling
Oh,
for the
Clyde
shade.
went
That
glitchy.
is
Clyde's went robot.
Let's see.
but
You know, by a cell tower yesterday that had a big fake dead bird hanging off of it, and we assumed it was to deter other birds from nesting on the tower, but we weren't really sure. So I guess you just put a fake dead bum, you know, wherever you don't want a bum to hang out, and maybe they'll maybe they'll whack-a-mole themselves somewhere else.
Just have like a fake corpse, and then all of a sudden all the bums don't want to hang around there.
One of the first fire departments I worked at, all the fire departments have dummies that they use for, you know, training and stuff. And I walked into like the bays, and it looked like a person laying on the ground, like collapsed. It was wearing like firefighter clothes. And I ran up to it and was like, oh, it's not real. I was like, oh my God, do you need help? You know?
you think they do that on purpose? Like they got a new guy coming in, they're like, we're gonna
They were all watching on the security camera laughing at me.
yeah.
Let's see if he tries to give it mouth to mouth.
And then that way they can call you gay. And they'd be like, "You just
Yeah.
gay. You just gay
That was
mannequin."
gay, no, no.
You gay.
They don't even do that anymore. Firefighter. Like a Crisco'd fire pole.
Yeah. Oh.
Get that Crisco oil.
Yeah. Whoosh.
Well, speaking of the big cities and the craziness that ensues, apparently it's not just the homeless who are causing problems. Some of the there's some more. I don't know. I consider bikers to be more affluent types, but apparently there's some bikers causing problems as well.
Window, he looks down and then starts recording this violent altercation.
When you say bikers, do you mean?
Oh, never mind.
Disturbing video shows a group of young males.
Good Lord.
Driver of a white pickup truck on Hill Street near 6th Street in downtown LA's Jewelry District Thursday afternoon. Another one of the guys.
That's where I want to go to buy jewelry.
The man's
Just mobs of people that beat you.
the truck's windshield is
not
left
those kind of
shattered.
bikers. I thought this
horrible.
was like.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no,
The jewelry
bikers.
captured the violence.
I would expect to be
What?
violent.
What's going on?
Bicyclists, that's a story.
I thought it was like. See, I thought it was like Tyler Yonke type of bicyclists, like not just random roving bike gangs of black kids.
6 of one, half dozen of the other jewelry. I'm going to go ahead and take a guess at who's running that district.
Your guess would probably be correct.
I'm going to go out on a limb on this one.
Golly, they just all dumped their bicycles and come
What did
beat
he
this
do?
guy's ass. Like,
They just jumped him. Like they just straight up
What
dropped
did
the
he
bikes
do?
and they jumped
I
him.
don't know what he did.
He probably
Why did he get out of the
slighted them
car?
somehow.
I think he probably flipped. I think he flipped them off or whatever. Like whenever they were like going by him, and then they basically just were like, well, we don't take that.
If bicyclists think that a driver didn't treat them safely enough, they get really upset.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
They take their IRADs. You look like
Those are
'cause
usually
we have-
like rich white.
You're right. Those kind of bicyclists.
Yeah.
I see a lot of cyclists really like big because we have they get killed time to time. There's like monuments in Tampa and shit, like a fake bike on the side of the road. Fucking stupid. Anyhow, and I know that it does happen to people who are obeying the rules of the road. I know people who ride bikes to get places and they've all been hit by a car. But yeah, you see them say like, I'm not going to follow the rules because fuck it, the cars don't. And I'm like, well, then I don't fucking, I don't really have much sympathy for you then if you're riding on the wrong side or not the fucking bike lane. You know what I mean? It's like, don't be a fucking idiot out there.
these don't appear to be those types of bikers, though.
They don't. But I hate those types of bikers a lot. So I'm using this as an opportunity to rail on them.
I mean, cyclists are like there's that stone toss meme of I'm a vegan. Nobody can be more obnoxious than me. And then and then all of a sudden in the other corner it shows the cyclist.
Hold my beer. Yeah, cycling enthusiasts are pretty gay. Like, I just don't get what's wrong with a pair of sweat shorts and a t-shirt? Like, I don't understand
because
why
that would
Now, to be
that would
fair,
catch on the bike, yeah. Like that if you're trying to maximize speed and everything, it would catch on the bike a little bit.
I have friends who ride the fancy fast road bikes and they just wear regular fucking clothes. They don't wear the spandex fucking shaped helmet, the aerodynamic helmet and all that gay shit. It's like I'm out here to just enjoy a bike ride, dude.
I see one of those guys go down the road all the time.
I had a tri-bike that I would ride,
the one
and
pink
I didn't have bike shorts. I had regular kind of like athletic shorts. And I will say, yes, the wind caught it, which was not the issue. The issue was what happened when the wind caught it and how high they'd ride up. And it looks like I'm wearing a Speedo, riding down the road. And I feel like that's almost more gay than wearing spandex shorts, but maybe not. I don't know.
This is how I dress whenever I go out for a run or I ride my bike. This is it.
Well, yeah,
this is
I know,
my
but
attire. That's how you work out. if you're not working out like this, then are you even doing it right at all?
And if you're not hanging sacks, everyone can see.
Well, I have a pair of I have some older running shorts with like the 1-inch inseam.
See, I don't have that kind of
liner.
chest area.
The liner's gone saggy, and it's problematic at times.
It's like at least with the spandex, we can see the outline of your package. With the loose fitting shorts, we might actually see some of your package. Yeah. It might actually make an appearance.
That's what makes it fun for everybody.
Yeah. Thrilling.
You never know when a nut might fall out, you know. Speaking of making sure that your nuts don't fall out, did y'all see this?
Oh, I know where this is going. I heard about this on right-wing news talk radio.
Right-wing news talk radio. Target CEO says woke capitalism is great for their brand and the right thing for society. Apparently, they've got some tuck-friendly extra crotch coverage. Now, see, why is everybody automatically assumes that this is for, tucking your twig and giggleberries in. There is such a thing as large labia, and maybe these are for those
and big
women.
bush. Yeah,
big bush.
What if you're trying to conceal big bush?
That's right.
Yeah, you don't want guys to see that roll. No, I guess in this case, probably other women.
Right, you don't want the lower lips hanging out, so you gotta have them tuck-friendly.
Can we move on?
No, I have something to say. I was
just like no.
On a right-wing news talk radio, they were talking about this, and what was hilarious is like, well, I don't get it, because if the goal is if you're embracing who you are, then that's not really a penis, that's a vagina, so you should be happy to have it hanging out. And I'm like, whoa, dude, like, no, let's encourage them to cover that shit first off,
Yeah.
And second off, now
I don't
you're
want to see the balls.
an expert.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get it. They should be wanting their vaginas to be hanging out all over the place.
It comes with a padded camel toe outline, so you tuck it under.
That wasn't really the accent he had either. I don't know how to do right wing talk radio without a super country accent. I don't get it. If there's two penises, where's the vagina? Doesn't make sense.
Two penises make a vagina.
It takes two penises to properly craft a vagina. Yeah. Two penises.
It does say that. It does say that they have Target management has directed some of their store managers and district senior directors to tamp down the pride sections in their stores over fear of recreating a Bud Light situation. Which, have y'all seen the stuff with the who was it sent the Bud Light thing?
Is there a pride section in Target?
They have a whole section for
Target's clothing section has always been fucking gay. Like, this is not new. It's always like, if you were buying your clothes from Target, you probably are a homo anyway. Let's just
wow.
You're right.
Sorry, Dag. I didn't.
No, I don't mean like that. I just mean that they have a pride. This shows how much I never go into Target, that I had no idea they had this. So I was wondering, it's a towed down their pride section. What do they have? A big rainbow or something? Oh my God, they do.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. The last
you
time
probably tone that down.
The last time that I went,
that's not just for June.
I think it's very regional too. I don't think it's across the board. Like, you don't see a whole lot of this here. Like, they have
the pride
to an
onesie.
Extent, they have this kind of stuff, but it's nothing crazy. And like the pride onesie and stuff, they've had this stuff for probably 20 years, if not at least 15. Like, that's not new. But suddenly, because this chick does a TikTok video about it, it's gotten a whole lot of attention over the last couple of months. But like where were you for the last 15 years? Target's been
doing this. Yeah.
Target's been doing this for a long time. It's not new. That's
not that problematic.
Right.
It's in your face.
There's a lot of this that's getting overblown.
There we go. Is that a new Target model or something?
No, there is one. The actual. Let me see if I can pull it up.
There's no way my dong doesn't hang out the bottom of
that. This is the main stuff people are outraged about right now. Let's see.
There was an awful lot of weird onesies. I'll give them that.
They were showing like this. These are some of the things that they were trying to do. Is like too queer for here, and then this. They actually have heteronormative is a plague. I don't know what that's about. Satan respects pronouns. And then homophobe headrest, and they have a guillotine.
Is that stuff legit though? Like that looks
yes,
like something
they sell it. No, they sell it
in store.
This person makes it. Like this is the person who made this clothing line.
Oh, Deputy Dangle. Lieutenant Dangle. I'm sorry.
I've never seen anything like that in any Target around here. Like nothing even remotely. It's got to be. It's got to be incredibly regional or something, or like online specific or something. Like,
I mean, the Target we have is Lakeland, and I'd buy if Lakeland had a Pride section. There's a lot of gays in Lakeland.
See,
they're not all in your face.
So you got the thing is, if you got to go into Target wearing your rainbow clothes and your queer is here shirt, and then they let you in the back room. It's like the TV at the back of Walmart that you have to destroy. It's like this secret place that you don't have access to because
it's like Hogwarts. You have to believe that it's there.
See, the only time that I've been in a Target recently, they had a huge black pride section, like or whatever. Like it was like, hey, like BLM, Black Lives Matter, and they had like a black this and black that, and it was a whole section dedicated to this. And I was like, I'm just here to buy a TV for cheap. Like, if
you go to the Black Pride section, you can steal a TV for free.
I mean, I look too white for that though. Like, I need to have a black friend instead of me.
Oh shit. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
So
I didn't mean to turn this into a racist podcast.
And look, here's the thing: whenever they say that you're racist or white supremacist or whatever, this is the appropriate response. Who wasn't sent the thing about who wasn't sent the thing with the community notes where there was the guy talking about how God didn't create God didn't create alcohol, and the community notes said Jesus turned water into wine, sourced the Bible.
Yeah.
There's a water park, or it's a theme park here called Holiday World. That's like 20 miles down the road. Like we go several times during the summer. It's pretty, like tickets aren't bad, and Stephanie gets a discount through her work.
Weird infatuation with.
So anyway, this year,
Christmas.
This year they're going to start. This year they're going to start serving alcohol. So there's all these people like getting all up in a, getting their panties all up in a bunch because, I thought this was a family-friendly theme park. It's like, and there's literally 2 spots that are going to sell alcohol. One of them is going to be like a tiki bar right next to the wave pool, and then another one is going to be in the Thanksgiving section, which is where most of the food is, and it's just going to be like a tap house type of a thing. And like that's it. 2 places that are going to sell alcohol. It's like $12 for a domestic beer, $14 for an import, and then $14 to $16 for a very, very narrow selection of like mixed drinks. And there are all these people that are getting all up in getting all in an uproar because they're going to sell alcohol at
that price.
Right. It's like, and a lot of them are, and I mean, I'm religious. A lot of them are making like religious arguments against it and stuff. And I tried to post that to the comment section, but the comment section limits, it doesn't allow you to post photos, probably because somebody posted a photo of something they shouldn't have at some point. Got people pissed off. It's like, why are we getting so pissed off about this? Like, if you don't want to drink at the theme park, don't drink at the theme park. If you don't want to be around people who are drinking there, don't go. Like, you get to make that decision.
Find another theme park. They got to compete with what's the What's the one
Our
they got to
theme
compete
parks
with?
that
The
give
big
you
one
free
that's like
beer.
all over the place.
Yeah. Free beer is back at Busch
Now,
Gardens.
that would be a theme park.
Hell yeah.
You get 2 7-ounce beers per day, but that's almost a pint. You can buy beer everywhere there, though. It's fucking Busch Gardens, though. I mean, it's it is a beer company. So
I wonder if their business will take a hit thanks to the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing.
So okay, maybe you guys can.
I love that that's
maybe
still like crashing.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. And maybe you can fact check this for me, Justin, then, because they were saying like, oh, their sales are down 28%, and on Right Wing Talk Radio, he's like, I ask a bartender everywhere I go, and they say they're not selling any Bud Light, that nobody's buying it. But like, my wife's a bartender, and she's like, yeah, we sell just as much Bud Light as, but like nobody gives a fuck, So like, but they're saying their sales are down 28%. But I feel like people, when they're talking about their market cap drop, people don't know what market cap is. They confuse market cap with like stock price. Are they actually selling 28% less beer? Because of this, or is that some statistical bullshit that
from the statistics I'm seeing stateside, yes, the overall sales have dropped. Maybe not in the bars, but like the people who are buying from like liquor stores and Walmart and stuff like that, like buying 12 packs and 24 packs of Bud Light, like that, those numbers have taken a hit. And honestly, those are some of the big driving forces behind their revenue. So like that's, and there are also a number of bars and stuff like that have discontinued selling it and carrying it and stuff like that.
For both reasons. The gay bars who stop now.
Well, those two, so they're getting hit on both sides on some of it. So, and the bad publicity is also hurting them as well. So yeah, I mean,
it's just funny that Target's trying to do the same strategy of like, well, no, now we're gonna play both sides now too, like because they're probably gonna get the like gay people not want to shop there now because like, oh well, you moved your pride section to the back instead of having it in the front in front of the these homophobes,
should be front and center.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it matters how what Target does. They're always going to be super gay. They always have been.
Yep. And retarded. Oh shit!
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.